Well, hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. How the heck are you? Can you believe that Diana Clarion, the Lavender Lady, is starting a stream right about on time? And that stream is the open chat. Hello, hello, hello. And with me is that wonderful lady, the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful, bionic dance, Kate Farr. Hi, dear. How are you?
Hello.
And this is yet another stream. Oh my word, you guys are gonna get sick of me. Won't get sick of Kate. You never get
Oh,
sick of
some of us
Kate, but
are already there. Seriously, if I hadn't said it, someone else would. So I figured, let's get it out of the way.
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Oh my, yeah, look at that. Oh hi, Purple. Yay! And Amiga is here. Yay! We kind of figured that you were one of the three people who was originally here before the stream started, and
It
uh,
made a kind of logical sense. Let's just put it that way. Long experience has taught us, perhaps not to take it for granted, but still to expect.
and Purple has to keep working. Hopefully, it is something ultimately productive. Can you tell us about this?
I'm sure it's something important.
Oh, yay! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my!
Oh.
Wait a minute. Oh!
It
Oh!
would appear that you have yourself a birthday present from Purple.
I did not see the. I did not see the question on Twitter. Did you leave it as a DM, hon? Um, I will look right now and see what we have. Okay. Messages. Yes, definite messages. And I am looking for a picture. Oh yes, here we go. Oh. How do you like that? Well, it depends on how large this thing is, honey. If it's
Okay, now you got to tell us what it is, or we're going to have pictures in our head that might be a little embarrassing.
yeah, because Purple says, knowing the problems you have with deliveries, oh boy, do I ever. I was wondering which is easier for you to have stuff delivered or picking it up and bringing it home from Squawmart. What about large items you can't handle in the bus? I know you mentioned the idea of calling an Uber. How much does that end up costing you? Um,
So has he
oh,
not said what the item is? Is
he's
that it?
not. He's not said what it is. It sounds like it might be a rather large item, and it seems that he's misplaced my address in the move. We could fix that, honey. Um, but what I'll do then is, if it can be picked up from Walmart, um, and it sounds like it's a somewhat large item, I'll try calling Uber because I also want to get some cat litter. So maybe I was going to call Uber to come home from Walmart at one point or another anyway, so I can do it here, and whatever it would have cost, or whatever it would cost, would have cost that anyway. And I really don't know what it would cost because I've never done it before, but I'm guessing that it won't be that expensive. If it costs, if it costs my friend Cassia $15 to go from downtown to here, um, from here to Walmart is much shorter a trip, so it should cost a lot less than 15. And I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, it's. I was going to do it anyway, so let's do that. Let's get together and work out the Walmart to send it to and all the other good stuff. We'll talk about that. Yay! And I'm going to thank you ahead of time, and I'll thank you when it arrives and stuff like that. Oh, yay! I could do it on I could do it unboxing. All right, now we're gonna get in.
Mm. Although, I mean, okay, we can trust Purple, but I just recently did not do an unboxing, for which I'm very, very glad. A certain item that I did not order and did not want, and which, had I shown it on a live stream, could have been disastrous for my channel.
Oh my
So,
word. Oh yeah, that was an interesting little item there. When you she opened the box when she and I were speaking privately. You didn't totally unwrap it, did you? It was just suggestive of the configuration, was it?
none of the above. I didn't open it when we were talking at all.
I saw you
What?
open it.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, but I already knew what was in it. I had contacted Amazon
Oh,
and they told me.
oh,
So I
so
already knew what was in it, but I opened the box just to have a look at the package, which
to
is
see whether,
completely opaque white wrapping without
yeah,
any indication of what's in it whatsoever. Which was fine because I already knew what was in it, but I mean, I didn't open it.
right, right, yeah. No, I wondered then when you said you didn't and everything if there was something else that you had received. No, this is the
No.
package of which you were speaking. Okay, yay, yay, yay,
Yeah,
yay, yay,
it just
yay.
didn't happen the way you described is all.
Okay, well, I usually screw things up that way. I have such a command of the language, um, especially as I had said earlier in a tweet. Is mij aan everybody's for to the wishes on the birthday to thinking to wanting to making is what I had said. Yes, and there were actually people out there who knew what I said. And, and then there was Cheshire, who sent me a weird ass tweet that she had received.
There was
Uh, the Cheshire person,
who?
Cheshire.
Who?
I think she's I think she's the girlfriend of Red's Rhetoric, and
Who?
yeah, it's
I'm sorry, these are all names I do not know.
okay. Okay, this is a person. Let's put it that way. And
You know, strangely, I think I had that part figured out.
oh, amazing, isn't it? Okay, so oh my word, we have yet another kitten in a sink, but that's not what I was looking for. Oh, there it is. That she had, yeah, she had sent a response to me. Hold my beer, and there was a thing. Okay, I'm going to try to read this because she dared me to read this out. I don't think you what thinking is you don't know me at all. This is just looking for an apology for the victim is all. I don't care if you wanna tongue Steve and Cheshire's arseholes, nor do I know. All I do care about is what is right. Did I do that right?
What on earth are you talking about?
That is the tweet that she sent me that she had received. Because what I had put up my tweet, in my fluent stupid, post this, I dare you. She had said, "Hold my beer," and sent me a picture of that tweet that she had received at some time. I'm not sure when because I don't see the date on it. But yeah,
Oh,
I mean, at least my fucked up grammar is based on something. God, what was
yeah.
this? What was this guy on? Um, yeah, she had said, try to read it out loud. I dare you. Oh, jeez. Anyway, this is what happens on Twitter. But that's beside the point.
There was someone, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but there's someone that I've actually known for years who on Twitter decided to start going on this unhinged racist rant.
Oh, boy.
And he did not seem to realize that it's racist, even after being told. that it's racist, and he wouldn't knock it off. And so finally, I'd had enough and said, screw this crap, and blocked him. Now, he does have my email address, but I blocked that too, right? So that he
All
can't
right.
call me. What I didn't realize is blocking an email address goes to your junk folder. It doesn't just say, nope, 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 nope. It goes to your junk folder. So I was looking for something else. Oh, yeah, that's right. I had forgotten my password on a website, and they tried to send me the link, and I wasn't seeing it for several minutes. So I started checking spam and junk and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and doing that, I came across the emails he had sent, the
Oh
like
boy.
12 or 15 emails that he had sent. That was all fuck you, bitch. And, I can't believe that you like are such a princess and all this stuff. And I demand an apology and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, well, I mean, I forget if I posted it to Twitter. Yes, I did post it to Twitter. I was like, okay, if you're trying to get back in someone's good graces, should you start with the personal insults or with the making fun of the living situation, or should you just go off on the unhinged rant? And I'm not sure how many people realized that I was not asking for me.
No,
So,
I was correct when I decided that is who you were talking about. Okay, so yeah,
yeah.
you've confirmed my guess. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, wow, just wow, dude went off. And, I mean, maybe he's watching this right now for all I know. I don't really care, but for the most part, I'm ignoring him.
Okay.
In fact,
Okay.
I suspect that he is the one who sent me that marital aid as a way of telling me to go fuck myself, and also probably with the hope that I would have unboxed it on camera and that it would have gotten me in trouble.
Okay then, yeah. It wouldn't be something I would discount offhand, right?
Yeah,
It
so
just amazes me though the way somebody can go from one side to the other, if you will. I mean, first he's your friend and everything's cool, and then just like that, he's telling you to do abhorrent things to yourself, basically. Um,
well, like 2 or 3 years ago, and I probably should have seen this coming because, like I said, 2 or 3 years ago, I had accepted him as a Facebook friend, and then almost immediately ditched him when he started being an asshole to all my friends. I mean, it's weird
uh,
because he was awfully nice to me when it was just us one on one, like in private messages. But then he just started ranting and raving about all this horrible shit, and I was like, yeah, you don't get to be that much of a dick to my friends. Goodbye now. But we still stayed in touch on Twitter, and now he's gone off on his unhinged rants. And I decided, this isn't going to end, and he's gone. Too many
mm,
chances. I mean, I do have a small twinge of conscience because a lot of the stuff that I've unboxed, he sent me, but there's bounds of reason here. Like, no amount of presents will make up for racism.
yeah, yeah, really.
you
Um,
know
it's an unfortunate thing, and it makes you wonder what the original motives were. You
I
know,
don't know.
I mean, at least it makes me wonder what the original motives were for being so nice, and then I don't know, what are you gonna do?
Well, I hate to say it, he never quite seemed all there. There were times where I was like, is there something wrong with you or not? I can't tell. I mean, I never asked him straight out, but I don't know.
Well, you never do anything straight, so that's beside the point.
Yes, well, that's why I added straight out.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hi,
Uh,
Hummer, to come in.
I was rather specific about that. Before.
Oh my. But I guess, okay, that means that today's a really, really busy day. All kinds of stuff have been going down. Because I saw earlier in the Washington Post that there's a clinic in New York City that is removing Margaret Sanger's name. Uh, it's a Planned Parenthood clinic. They're removing her name because of her stance on eugenics. Um, and I know
Okay.
there's been at least one.
You're gonna have to elaborate.
Yeah, we can go here. Excuse me. Planned Parenthood of Greater New York will remove the name of the national organization's founder, Margaret Sanger, from a Manhattan clinic in an attempt to reckon with her ties to the eugenics movement, the organization announced on Tuesday. An early feminist activist, Sanger is widely regarded as a pioneer in American reproductive rights. She
Okay,
opened.
hold on. Stop. It's the eugenics part you need to clarify.
Oh, okay, so wait a minute. Are you not sure what eugenics is, or do you not
No, I'm not
remember?
sure about her connection to
Oh,
eugenics.
oh, I that was what I was going to ask next. Yeah, she appears to have been a rather outspoken supporter of eugenics during the 30s.
Okay, you're still gonna have to be more specific because eugenics can mean a lot of different things.
Um, she was
What were
okay.
her stances? I mean, was she talking about like I don't know, trying to build a master race or some shit?
Almost. I mean, she wasn't necessarily talking about a master race, but she was speaking of improving the uh, improving the population by not allowing the defective to breed.
I see. Okay.
And I guess that was part of her reasoning for founding Planned Parenthood, which is it's unfortunate that that is the case. One of the things she believed, for example, was that as a woman had more and more children, the children became sequentially less well, less well equipped physically and mentally, that sort of thing. So the children way down in the list, like the ninth child was much weaker than the first, that sort of
Hmm.
thing. So it's like, let's help this woman not have so many children. She
Well,
almost kind of had a point there,
well,
but
one thing that I've heard is that actually, um, the more children you have, the more likely the subsequent ones will be gay.
I have also heard that, and I'm not exactly sure how it happens. I'd love to find out. Um, I would love to do some research in that area, but of course, I'm not going to have a lab or anything like that. So,
Well, I mean, it might just be something like after a while, the womb wears out and it starts introducing aberrant data, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, that's the interesting thing. When I would begin wondering if it was an epigenetic foundation to it, but then again, what are the traits already exhibited that the subsequent kids would be building on to be gay? And I don't see any. Um,
Well, I
it's,
mean, it's just a trend anyway. It's not
yeah.
like a fact. It's not a foregone conclusion that child number 8 will be gay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, I
I
mean
mean,
that.
also, there could be a certain amount of confirmation bias in there. I mean, they don't like, I didn't actually see the study itself that said this, but like, if someone has just the one kid,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know the ratio that one kid might be gay. But if they have a whole bunch of kids, I mean, I guess maybe if the study only included people with multiple children in their household, I don't know. I don't know how the study was conducted.
Okay. Now, all right, this is interesting. Purple mentions that he is his parents' ninth child, and he says, I have heard that when a woman has more than 3 or 4 sons, the later boys are more likely to be gay. This is attributed to a hormone shift during pregnancy. Um, that's an
And maybe it is
interesting
just
thing.
boys. I don't know how that works either.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Um, I do know that there appears to be a very slight genetic connection with trans kids. But then again, there are the instances where you have identical twins, one trans, one not. Um,
Mm.
so, who can tell with that? I remember reading an article, I think the kids were in Boston, um, where they were both identified as boys at birth, and one turned out to be trans and did indeed transition. But
I'm still amused that both of the Wachowskis turned out to be trans. That amuses the hell out of me.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to
I mean,
read.
I kinda wonder what their parents thought of it, and like how much of it was a fuck you, or how much did they go, yeah, all right, it's my kids.
Oh my. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm trying to remember how old they are. Younger than
I
I
have
am, right?
no idea. Well, almost certainly, because everyone is. But let's
Because
see.
I'm trying to set the era, and you know what parents might have been more likely to think than.
Did they have to have alliterative names?
Oh no.
Lana Wachowski and Lily Wach. What the fuck kind of face are you making on IMDb? Oh my gosh. That okay, you see someone's IMDb picture and it's just like, what? Hold on, let me just okay. And then we will present now a window, and I sincerely hope someone else chose that photo. Because if that's the photo you chose for yourself,
Oh yay, gods,
I
man!
mean, what the hell kind of expression is that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But okay, so back to the so they were born 67 and 65.
Okay, about 10 years younger than I. There still may have been some problems. Yeah, I mean, some people I know and know um, of that age, of that born at that particular time and everything, had some rather serious problems with coming out and how they were accepted or not accepted. Let's put it that way. So it would be interesting to see how they were accepted. Um,
Must be so much easier to be like any kind of LGBT today. You know, like as long as you're not in an uber conservative household, chances are good your parents are like, "Oh, you're what? Oh, all right, cool. You happy? All right, cool."
yeah, I am rather jealous, envious of the kids, these days. And when I say kids, if you'll excuse the expression, I'm even including you in the term kids. I mean, who are significantly younger than I am, who seem.
Well,
Hmm?
I mean, I was raised by hippies. When I told them I was a lesbian, they were like, "Well, duh."
I never got to tell those two.
Hmm.
I mean, they said, go fuck yourself when I when I told them I was trans. But yeah, there it is. I mean, there are problems even today, but there seem to be fewer than there were, say, 40 years ago.
Oh, come on, that's too far back. Even 20 years ago.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, like, I think around about the time that civil unions became a thing, people realized, hating on gays is about to end here, or at least it's going to be way less.
mm-hmm. It's just unfortunate that everyone hasn't caught on with that, but I guess there are always going to be arseholes.
I guess. I mean, everyone's got one.
Yeah,
But I still want to know, like, I mean, I've never been able to get a conservative to just sit down and tell me where I'm like, okay, if people are allowed to be openly gay and openly other kinds of LGBT, whatever, how does it actually affect your day?
mm-hmm,
I mean,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
are
mm-hmm.
you unable to just walk around, grit your teeth, and go, people are different. Damn it, I hate that people are different, and just move on? Is that it? I mean, do you have to interfere? Like, I've never been able to get someone to really say what the substantial difference will be. I mean, they'll say, "Oh, it's against the Lord," or "I don't want my kids learning this, that, or the other thing." But it's like, really? I mean,
We,
the one that knocks me out is when they're like, "If we allow gay marriage, it'll destroy the family." And I'm sitting there, really? So you think, I mean, you genuinely think that if we allow homosexuals to get married, straight people will stop? Is that what you're saying? And I mean, I guess, sure, maybe it muddies the water a little for what a marriage is, but that doesn't mean people are going to stop getting straight hitched.
well,
You
there you
know?
go. And then why even should it muddy the water? Because people have to realize now that marriage is nothing divinely inspired. The churches will take the credit for it, yes, but when you look back at it, marriage is nothing but a contract, just like an
Well,
incorporation is.
but they don't think so. To them, marriage is like a divine mandate that these two are to be together. It's a covenant with the Lord and all that shit. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Why don't we just agree that there is more than one kind of marriage, and the fact that we use the same name for both is not an indication of the value of one or the other? I mean, would you be happier if we called anything other than straight churchy marriage something else? Would that make you a happier camper? Would that make you accept the idea of homosexual legal marriage? Would that work for you? Chances are they'd say no.
Right.
I figure that their objection, like, oh, it'll destroy the family. It's bullshit. Of course, that like explanation for their objection is bullshit. They just don't like weird people. Well, I mean, let's face it.
Bingo. Yeah.
If any of these people had the chance, they would just say, look, I want the world to be a simple place where everything looks like what it is and I know what's going to happen. And there aren't all these curveballs and pitfalls and all these things that are going to make life something other than the easy existence that I would prefer. I'm sure that if we dug deep down, what we'd really find is they just don't want it to be weird and unexpected.
Very, very likely. And I do suspect that in many cases there is a bit of fear going on. Um,
But of what? What's so scary?
um, I do suspect that there are those who are afraid that they will be hit on by someone of the same sex, for example, and won't know how to handle it. And there's something alien about it to these people, um, and
Well, all right.
they'd
Here's an
rather
idea.
not have it than learn to deal with it.
Well, here's an idea. How do you say no to someone who's of the opposite sex, who's an ugly, who's like an uggo or a fatty? It's like if you're
Yeah,
with someone who's a 2 or a 3, how do you tell them you're not interested? Sorry, I'm holding out for a 7 or an 8. I mean, just adapt that to sorry, I don't swing that way. I mean, how hard is that? I think possibly the real problem is that they're worried they're gay. They're worried that if it's okay and if they really explore their sexuality, they're going to go, huh, there's a tendency in myself I didn't expect. Now, I don't mean those people where it's like they hate on the gays because they are gay. I mean, they're scared that they're gay. They're worried
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
that if they were to agree to to agree that it's okay to be homosexual, that they're going to be like, and now I have to reevaluate my own life. Am I as straight as I think I am? I don't want to know the answer, I bet they're saying.
Indeed. I mean, it kind of knocked me for a little bit of a loop when I discovered that I was attracted to a particular guy. This is after transition, so I'm allegedly heterosexual. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I mean,
And
that's probably what's going through their
yeah,
heads.
and then at that time, I mean, I'm thinking of holy shit. You mean I'm not quite as lesbian as I thought I was, or I should actually use the term. I'm not quite as gynophilic as I thought I was. Strictly gynophilic. Um,
Well, I mean, I have to say, there are two actors. I know I've mentioned this before. Two actors where I'm like, I'm curious because I think they're both oddly attractive and I don't know why.
okay.
But like, it's just them. It's never been anyone else.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I'm sure that there are some straight folks out there going, I'm not attracted to fill in the blank, but there's that one exception. Like Louis C.K. has a routine where he talks about how he's totally straight, but he would fuck you and McGregor.
Okay. Okay. Oh
You know,
my! And then
I
I'll
mean,
I'll leave the
you did.
door. I'll leave the door open to rampant speculation, but there are a couple of guys in the community who have caught my eye, and I'll just leave it at that. It's like,
The atheism community.
yeah,
Oh, well, now I'm curious who.
we'll talk about it later. Oh my, oh my, oh my! Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing there. It's like, oh, okay, fine.
Well, I mean, there's one or two females in the community that I find somewhat attractive.
Well, I'll say the
Mind you,
same thing. Yeah.
some of them are trouble,
Mm.
and not necessarily in ways that are their own fault. But I've also discovered I seem to be attracted to trouble, and I need to, curb that impulse.
Yeah, you've mentioned that once or twice. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
But I mean, this is a different kind of trouble for at least one of them. This is more a matter of being with you would be a shit ton of work and probably heartache, and I don't need that. As opposed to, wow, you're another addict?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, I could think of at least one person of whom I have had that thought. Yeah, the a lot of work and maybe more work than it's worth. Yeah,
So there's that.
but
Oh, please, Purple. There's two actors where I'm like, huh, that's it. I find it interesting that nobody has asked, who are they?
Well, I'm figuring you haven't offered it, so there's maybe you're just not wanting it to be public knowledge. I don't know.
Well, I didn't say that now, did I?
No.
But I was curious whether anyone would end up curious.
I mean, I can take some guesses, which I will not do out loud, but yeah.
Okay. Not that it matters that much. I mean, it's not like I will ever even be in their presence, much less pursue them.
Mm.
So, not important.
Moo. Definite moo.
Uh, well, Purple, okay, maybe being pan is easier, but, no one chooses their sexuality. So,
Right.
maybe it's easier, but what you gonna do about that if you're not?
Mm-hmm. Um, Now, okay, I mean, I'm thinking about this again. You talk about the pan. Is that simply, in quotes, a superset of bi, or is that something else? Anybody who wants to chime in may do so.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where there's so many terms and they
Yeah.
all like there's several that seem to mean the same thing, but there's this tiny little variance of, oh, so it's that, but with or without this other thing, you know? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, does that really need to be its own subcategory of LGBT? Really? Like,
I
like I mean, okay, the way I describe myself as an agnostic apistivist atheist,
yes,
right?
yes.
And you know how I get grouchy when people try to act like agnostic is its own completely separate thing, right?
Oh, I can't
Well,
think of anybody you'd get grouchy at for that. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Well, if you get somebody who is like, okay, so it's exactly like pansexual, except no redheads. Or no, wait, or there's an exception for redheads as long as their hair isn't curly and red, and that is its own separate sexuality, and it needs its own term and its own flag, and you can't just take the existing term and modify it with adjectives. It's like it seems like some of the sexualities out there have gone that far.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm like, you couldn't just call yourself an a redheadist bisexual or something? You know, it's just, I don't know. It's like, yes, I'm a furry and I'm sexually attracted to all other furries except for those assholes who dress up like penguins. It's like,
I like that.
really? I don't know. It
Oh,
just it gets to a point like I start to almost a little bit understand the people who wig out over like how many different genders and pronouns there are. It's like, yeah, you couldn't keep track of all that in your head, could you? And you're going to offend somebody by getting some tiny minute thing wrong,
yeah.
aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I want to be nice and kind to everybody. I want to treat everyone with dignity and respect, but there are just bounds of reason.
Indeed. Now, purple, excuse me, says pansexual to me, meaning purple, is
Hmm.
acknowledging that there are more than two genders, and I'm open to the possibility of a relationship with someone of any gender. Okay. Um,
Yeah. The thing is, I'm willing to bet that most bisexuals say, yeah, that.
okay, because I will admit, even now, I don't quite get how the whole gender thing outside of the binary works. I know academically how that works. I know that you've got a sliding scale going, but that visceral feeling of like the difference between boy and girl and that bullshit. Um, I don't have that sort of connection or feeling or whatever with the sliding scale of gender. I don't know that I will ever learn how. It would be great if I could, but I guess I grew up in a binary world and I've got to work my way out of that.
Yeah, I mean, hmm. I guess part of the problem is that there really are no objective rules anymore, or rather, there are no axiomatic rules anymore. And that does get a little confusing,
Mm-hmm.
because we do have a world that at least started out behaving as if people are binary, you know,
Yeah.
and so now if you get someone who's like totally tomboyish, except that they also go into full on maternal mode, it can be a little confusing. If someone says, like, yeah, my pronoun is flurgle, and it's like, well, okay, so I was going downtown and I saw what's Flurgle's face, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" I mean, like, I get why some people might rebel against that. It's difficult to keep track of. I don't know. It's like, I'm not saying I approve. I say I can sort of empathize. You know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't know. Should it be a requirement to wear one of those "Hello, my name is" badges everywhere, except that it's, "Hello, my gender is," and now you can write in Flurgle and everybody's fine. Um,
Well, but the thing is, that's something that they had in a sci-fi series I read. The Verkosigan saga has a planet called Beta Colony that is one of the most open societies there are in terms of like social uh, tolerance, I guess. And one of the things they do is when someone reaches about 13, sexual maturity, they have this whole ritual of going out and getting your ears pierced and buying earrings that indicate, like, are you single? What are you attracted to? What is your gender? This, that, and the other thing. It's like they have this whole system of earrings where by looking at someone's earrings, you know instantly whether or not they are someone you might or might not successfully hit on, and vice versa for you as well. And it's considered the height of impropriety to wear the wrong earrings. I it's never mentioned what they think if you don't wear any, but if you wear ones that don't actually indicate what you're into and what you're looking for, it's a big honkin' like taboo no.
okay,
Um,
then.
on Beta Colony is also the place that tried to introduce like deliberate hermaphroditism to try to create a society that doesn't have some of these like cultural mores surrounding sex and gender. It did not go well. So Beta Colony
Okay.
so Beta Colony is not perfect, but still, I mean, having a system of I'm single or taken, and here's what I'm attracted to, and here's what I am, would actually be kind of helpful.
You know, it reminds me in its own little way of, if I remember correctly, how it went, the handkerchief code in some of the gay bars, where you put a handkerchief in your back pocket, and based on the color or the design or whatever, you were a bear or you liked leather or that sort of thing. I'm just guessing at these things because I didn't do that scene, but
Yeah.
okay.
Well, there are definitely some clothing styles I've noticed tend to be worn by certain communities. For example, like button up shirts with no collar, that seems to be a gay boy thing.
Okay, okay.
I like take for example the dude who plays Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, right? When he's gay, and when you see him off stage, he's usually wearing one of those. And I
Okay.
believe I've seen one on Neil Patrick Harris as well.
Okay.
So
So,
yeah,
okay, that might be, maybe that is it. Maybe it's a form of advertisement. It's like, hi, anyone who's interested, here is an indicator. Okay, I can live with
you
that.
remember how like it seems to be less of a stereotype now, but you remember how everyone thought gay men all lisped,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Very
you
well, I
know?
remember that. That
Yeah.
was in all the comedy routines and everything. I mean, well, shit,
Mhm.
Robin Williams did that almost to the last day. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there were definitely ways of indicating to other people, hey, me too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And that brought to my mind a an appearance that Williams did on the Tonight Show, where he broke into that uh, gay lisp as part of parodying Hamlet. Um,
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of the title of the film. I could go look for it in case anybody would want to see it, but we'll deal with that as we do. It's one of the more popular. One of the more popular Robin Williams on the Tonight Show episodes, so it would probably come up near the top in a search. Um, but then, what can I tell you?
Hmm. I don't know. Well, it makes me wonder about like how many historical figures do we now realize were LGBT and we had no idea? Like, okay, take for example Joan of Arc. Now, assuming she actually existed as the legend we know, do you think she was like LGBT?
I have to wonder. Yeah. I mean, she seemed a little bit on the butch side, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, what does that mean though? It was she lesbian, trans, nothing, and she just happened to really like fighting?
Yeah. And there's really no way to tell absolutely for sure or anything like that, but it's an interesting thought. Um, Let me see here. Hang on. Copy link location. There we are. Because, yeah, it was the second item to come up in the search. How do you like that? We'll put it in over here. And, yeah, this is one of my favorite Robin Williams appearances, if anybody wants to look at that.
Queen? I said queer, not queen, stupid search.
Oh,
Let's see. So we have here cross dressing, gender identity, and sexuality of Joan of Arc. Here we go.
boy!
I'm not immediately seeing anything that says one way or another. It says here whether her cross-dressing and lifestyle have implications for her sexuality or gender identity is debated.
Uh
So
huh.
I don't know.
It,
It
I,
doesn't say.
it could be a. I don't know if it's a real term or not. I'll invent it if it isn't. A functional cross dressing. If she wanted to fight, but couldn't be accepted into an army or could not lead an army as a woman, then cross dress as a man to do it. That would be one thing. Yeah. Um, so what do you do from there? Oh my.
Okay, weird. It says here comments from English soldiers at the time concerning Joan range from referring to her as a bloody tart to asking whether she expected her soldiers to surrender to a woman and referring to her troops as unbelieving pimps. Okay.
All right then.
Let's see. After his defeat at Orleans, Bedford reported to the English crown that his men had been bewitched by a satanic agent in the form of a woman dressed as a man. Okay.
Yay! Already then.
Huh. All right. Let's see. Skilled in front. All who disobeyed her will be killed without mercy. Okay. But I'm not seeing a. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. The Chronique de Lorraine added that all the army promised to always obey her. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, yeah. Oh, all regarded her with much affection, men and women, as well as small children. Okay. But that doesn't say anything about her sexuality.
Hmm.
Oh well, whatevs. But yeah. So Joan of Arc
But was she kind to cats?
doesn't say.
Oh well.
So you know how like Genghis Khan basically fucked his way across the whole world?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Do you think it was only chicks?
Wait, what were the exact words again? I have the idea that you had
I
spoken.
said, do you think it was only chicks?
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I had that idea. I just didn't have the words. Sometimes my ears don't work right. Of course not. Um, it's easily, it's easily dudes as well as chicks. Why not?
Well, I mean, it depends on his sexuality, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure his army had a few people boinking dudes, but you know, who am I thinking of here? Suppose there really was a historical Jesus and he was traveling around with 12 other dudes. At least one of them had to be gay.
Okay. Yeah.
Like which of those disciples or apostles or whatever the frig they were, which one of them was going behind the woodshed with Jesus?
Yep.
You
And
know?
my impression is that there may be some question about Saul of Tarsus, because a couple of things that he wrote. Was he known for writing something? It is better that a man should not be with a woman, but if he is, then whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. Although one thing I have wondered for quite some time, what's the origin of the name Tarsus? Does it have anything to do with toes?
Hmm.
I
Easy my
mean,
note to
Tarkle.
knowing. Yeah.
I have to wonder. Well, let's head to the Wikipedias. Tarsus. Tarsus skeleton. It says here a cluster of articulating bones in each foot. Places. Wow, there's way too many of these.
What
Which
does?
Tarsus is it?
Okay, we have one here.
I suppose it's the ancient and modern city in Turkey.
That would be the one. Yeah.
Okay, etymology. Ancient name is Tarsos, derived from Tarsa, blah 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 blah. Right? Oh, it was probably derived from the storm god Tarhuns. Okay, so nothing to do with Fitzes then.
Okay then. Oh well. So much for foot fetishism.
Oh
But
well.
yeah, it's.
Oh, but here we go. Okay. The name of the Proto-Antelophagenla whatever weather god can be reconstructed. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see, as conquering, but a participle form of the Pro-Indo-European root, which means to cross over, pass through, or overcome. Makes me wonder if possibly the city was just a place you pass through.
um,
You go through Tarsus on your way to somewhere else.
Yeah, well, that's the impression I'm getting here. When you look something up on Google and then you get those questions, people also ask, and you have this, and this. You have what is Tarsus called today, but they go off on a totally different angle. It says located in the mouth of the Burden River, Cydnus in antiquity, which empties into the Mediterranean. Tarsus is a junction point of land and sea routes connecting the Cilician Plain, today called Central Anatolia, and the Mediterranean Sea. So yeah,
You're
you're.
seeing how hard some of those words are to pronounce, aren't you?
uh, I don't know how you would pronounce the C with the little tail on it in Turkish. Um, I have a good idea how to do it in French, but yeah. Okay, let's say Sukurova. If you just
Mm.
pronounce it as a C.
Oh, hey, speaking of like letters and stuff like that,
Yes, dear.
um, what do you call a fish with no eyes?
Let's see. That would be a.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's pronounced, but
Okay.
yeah. Like, you ever see those sort of like word search jumble looking things, and people say the first three words you see are where you're spending your vacation, or the first three words you see are what will kill you, or this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
whenever I look at those, I'm like, the first three words I saw were the first three.
Okay.
Because they don't specify the first three words you saw in the jumble, in the
Right.
word search. They just say the first three words you see. Well, the first three words I saw were the first three.
Yes, indeed he does. Oh,
But nobody finds that as funny as I do.
I remember one of those recently that went off onto an entire dissertation. You know, the first words you see will do whatever, represent whatever. And the whole damn thing read across as some dissertation I don't remember right now. It was some political statement. And it was like, okay. But I do like the stuff that I see where the first words I see are thwarp, blurgle, and um, I will intentionally find letter combinations that mean absolutely nothing. It drives people nuts, and I love it. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. I admit there are some words that I've invented that honestly I feel like ought to actually be something. For example, snurgleplex should be a number,
okay.
like Googleplex, but
Yes.
snurgly.
Yes.
Little things like that.
So.
And I still say that a good German last name is Fergenschlosser. I don't know if that means a damn thing, but it sounds hilarious in my head. Yeah, yeah, Fergenschlosser.
It sounds almost, if I could, I mean, I have to look up what a Fergen is, but Schlosser or Schlosser um, might be of the castle, or something to do with castles. Schloss is castle. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, regardless, there are words like that that I've invented. You may recall one that goes apistivist, but
Yeah.
that's the only one that has actually been defined as anything yet.
Okay. Yeah, there's the definition came first and then the word, if I remember correctly, right? Because you wanted a word that meant not using faith as a basis of knowledge, and it's like, okay, I don't see when I'm going to have to invent one.
Yeah, that was basically what happened. But I mean, still, that's the only word that I've created so far that has turned into anything other than an amusing little anecdote from me.
Hmm. I'd really like to see that make it into Merriam-Webster or Oxford English Dictionary, one of those deals. Because it
It'd be
is,
nice.
yeah, and it's a word that is definitely, um, it is a word that is needed. It performs a valid function. It's not simply funny or anything like that. It's a concept that's a real thing. Yeah, why not?
Well, I'm told that the main criterion for getting into a dictionary is simply being used by people. If people actually say the word, then, like, I think it has to be seen in print somewhere. I'm not sure. But the basic
Ah,
idea is that if people are using it, it can be in the dictionary.
well, there's a thing. It would seem to me that many, many people are using the word. Um, I just don't know how often it's in print.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, and it might not be that it has to be in print exactly. It might just be that it has to um like maybe if it was on television or something.
Okay, because
I mean, I don't know. I'm not the arbiter here, but I get the impression that yeah.
yeah, I'm guessing that you'd have to have some way. to trace the usage of the word. I mean, as you do with etymologies of words that you do find in widely used dictionaries, and those are usually tracked on paper or parchment or vellum or whatever. Um, so I don't know. Maybe we'll just have to mount a campaign and do something with this. Epistivus, the word of the week.
Mm. Although it is a pistivist, not a pistivist, just saying.
Okay, epistivist. Gotcha.
Yes. Like atonal or asymmetrical.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got how that's going. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, because that could actually affect the meaning if you did it right, couldn't it?
Possibly, I don't know. I just know that, well, it's a certain thing, and do not bastardize the certain thing.
Yes. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Trying to remember, did you or did somebody else put out a T-shirt with the Zapdos? Excuse me.
But I'm definitely one of them, yes.
Okay. So it is out there. It can be had. I want to get one. Um,
Yeah. Well, I haven't posted the link to it in ages, but if you go to my Zazzle store, you'll find it.
all right. So what we're gonna do then is, while we're at it, we are going to find it for the benefit of all the people here. Yay!
Ah, there we go.
Yay. Okay, here we are. Tapaliki. Tatepetrashta. Oh, look. And they are affordable and everything. Yay!
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got half a dozen of these guys, huh?
I guess so. I don't know. I haven't been to Zazzle in ages.
It says Bionic Dance t-shirts and shirts, and then you have 6 t-shirts. But I don't know, sometimes the way these searches work, you get stuff that really isn't related. So I don't know here. Yeah, there's one here, Praying to Mecha, and it's, the,
No, no. No, that's not Mecha. It's Mecca.
oh, okay.
Yeah, see, Mecha, spelled that way, is Japanese giant robots, basically. Battle mechs.
Okay, which you've got on the t-shirt, yes. And then
Yes.
we have, I'm going to procrastinate later. And
Yep.
we have a kitty. And
I
have
He's whining at me. You want to be fed, don't you? You think that just because you're a living creature who's under my care, that somehow gives you the right to sustenance.
Mm-hmm. We have Dance, Chowder Monkey, Dance. Okay.
Oh, God, I'm so old. I should get rid of some of those. I really should.
But the two I really, really like are the first two, the Epistivus t-shirt and the Don't Run Automatic Think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. So what we're going to do... Okay, here you go. Okay, Purple says he's been waiting over a year for a Bionic Dance t-shirt, but it just keeps saying the one he wants is out of stock.
Oh, how odd.
You gonna have to poke somebody?
Oh. Okay, hold on. This is 40.
Whoa.
What?
Okay, why is the I'm going to procrastinate later t-shirt $32 while all the others are 20 or less?
I don't know. I don't think I get to set that price, to be honest.
That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm guessing that they set it somehow, but it's like I'm trying to figure out, is it simply the color? Because I do know that for some other items that you get from some places and things, like a bookshelf even, a different color will be at a different price.
I've noticed that, although it's usually more designs being a different price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, the Epistovus T-shirt here is 1580. The Don't Run on Automatic is 1895. Praying to Mecca is 1895. The Power of Logic Compels You is 2215. Chowder Monkey is 1895, and Procrastinate Later is 3165. Okay.
You know, something smells damn good, and I wish I knew what it was. Like, seriously, someone's cooking something that smells amazing.
Oh my, I get that from time to time. Unfortunately, most of the time I get somebody is cooking and failing miserably.
Thing is that, I mean, I'm not too terribly far away from a fast food joint, so it could just be that.
Okay, it could be, it could be.
You know,
Because,
it's possible I just want a burger.
yeah, because I noticed that walking by one of the many burger joints that are near here, I will get the aroma of rancid grease. Yeah. I mean, literally rancid grease.
Well, I don't know about the rancid part.
Um,
Oh, you think I should have a Logic Boom t-shirt? I could totally do that. That'd be pretty easy.
what, a Logic Boom?
You know the intro that looks like something out of Street Fighter 2?
Mm-hmm.
Logic Boom, you win. That one.
Yeah, okay. Okay then. Yeah. Sounds good. Might have to do that, huh?
Now, but I don't know. It would not be difficult to make that happen.
And it might put a few quarters in your pocket, right? That wouldn't be a bad thing.
Eh, well, you know, I do like moolah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice for buying those luxuries, like food. And
Food. I've heard of that.
oh my,
Actually, I'm going to need some before long. I am getting hungry.
oh
And I wonder how
no.
much of it is just because of those fuckers outside who are cooking something that smells good.
Could be, could be. Did you say something, however, to the effect that you haven't had an official meal all day yet?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my. Oh
But that
yay.
really doesn't change a lot.
Mm. Now I still have to make up the. I got the stuff yesterday, and I didn't make up the strawberry pound cake. I'm gonna have to do that eventually. Because after the show yesterday, I just fell into bed and fell right asleep.
So, you know what I've never actually looked up is why they call it a pound cake. Is there a pound of something in there, or do you pound it with something, or did it cost a pound back in merry old England, or I don't know.
Well, um,
I mean, there's just so many possibilities.
yeah, Gallagher gave a pretty good reason for calling it pound cake.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Ah,
I've never deliberately spent any time consuming Gallagher's material.
okay, yeah, because he's the one that had the mallet and he'd crush everything,
Yeah, but I've just never really sought him out.
and you had it, by the way. What I'm looking at is from ourstate.com, True Pound Cake. Excuse me. The True Pound Cake is a recipe that dates back to the 1700s. It gets the name of pound cake because of how it's made. Originally, the recipe called for 1 pound each of flour, sugar, butter, and eggs. God, that make a lot
Uh,
of cake.
yeah, well, I mean, I guess back in the day, it was probably one of those times where everyone had 1,000 children. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boy, am I glad
And so
times have
it's like,
changed.
how are we gonna feed all of these little rugrats? I guess we'd better make a pound cake.
Uh,
What
yeah, there
on
you
earth,
go.
girl? Do you want lap sits or are you demanding food? I can't tell which. Silly kitty.
Well, when is it time to slop the pigs?
About 50 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember Babka would make her own pound cake. She had this recipe that was absolutely fantastic. Um, a cake that she would haul out for all the holiday things. Bake up pound cake, slice it up, and in a it looked like one of those things that you would cover the cake with. In a, she'd turn that upside down so it was a semi-cylindrical pan. Put a layer of pound cake, a layer of homemade chocolate pudding, a layer of pound cake, homemade chocolate pudding, the whole thing, and build a cake with this. Flip it over on the plate, and then coat the thing with whipped cream and maraschino cherries. And for whatever it sounds like, it was damn good. And I wish I had the recipe, because as I say, um, Babka would make her own pound cake, and that was just so much better than the pound cake you'd find elsewhere. I mean, there's where I learned how to separate eggs because that was one of my jobs when she was making that stuff. Um,
But it's so easy to separate eggs. You just pick them up and move them over.
mhm.
I mean, you don't even have to wait for them to misbehave. I'm separating you two.
And then they look across the room at each other and giggle like crazy, right?
But yeah, it's funny like listening to you refer to your grandmother as Babka and all of that. Like, my grandparents were always just like, Grandpa Tony, Grandma Ann, all of that stuff, right? We didn't like there was never that sort of ethnic thing going on,
Oh,
you
okay,
know?
okay. Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of irritated when, like, my dad's siblings' kids, my cousins, started calling Grandpa Tony Pop Pop. And I'm like, no,
Oh my
no, he's
word.
Grandpa Tony. And it's just Pop Pop. Seriously, Pop Pop. That's the one you're going with.
Oh my.
Okay.
That's what you hear around here. Grandpa is always pop pop. Or another one is or pap is another one.
Mm.
Sort of like the smear. You're familiar with
Yeah,
those, of
no, I,
course.
I got that part. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm like, look, I'm the first of the cousins. I should get to decide what we call Grandpa Frickin' Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, no.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
even that generation before me. The generation of my so-called parents. Babka's kids. They called her Matka, which is mommy. Um,
okay.
and I'm trying to remember. I don't remember offhand what Daddy was. Um, well, I know my aunt Helen called him Pa, and at one point later, years after he died, she had said something about her father, and I was confused for half a second, and then it was, oh my word, okay, I've never heard her speak of her father before. He was always Pa. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah.
Well, you know the like okay, this is gonna sound horrible, but you know how I'm not the hugest fan of the French, right?
All
Especially those
right.
French Canadians. Whenever they call their father papa or their mom mama, it grates on my ears. It really does.
Okay.
I mean, I can't explain it. It's not exactly rational, but when they say papa, I kind of want to punch them.
Can I watch? Oh my. Okay, we're gonna go because I truly do not remember. Because I didn't use the term, and it's been a long time since I've heard it, so I don't remember. Where are we here? There we are.
What?
Yay! Okay.
What?
Okay. Otechko is daddy.
Petco?
Otechko.
Oh, Petco. Got it.
Otecko. Otecko.
You, you're
Yeah.
not you're not gonna bite on that one, are you?
No.
Well, you know.
Yeah, you have to know how to pronounce the C too, by the way. But yeah, that's yeah, and I still remember how to pronounce Slovak because I played it back, and there it was. Well, Otecko, it has that ko at the end of it, which makes it the familiar.
Hmm.
Um,
Kind of like how nearly like I'd say the vast majority of feminine Japanese names end in ko.
okay then. Okay.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
works out pretty much the same way. In Slovak, ko is masculine and ka is feminine. So that's where
But
you have.
in
Hmm?
well, I was just gonna further elaborate. In Japanese, like they do have the familiar as well. For boys, it's kun. For girls, it's chan.
Okay then. Isiku for
Well,
there. Yeah, so I mean that's for example where you have babka and detko, which is granny and gramps. Oh yay!
oof.
Yeah, but
And this laboratory set I'm building is so close to done. I need just a couple of more random ass bits of retro looking technology and we're good. But the problem is that I keep looking for imagery of retro lab equipment because what the fuck do I know about lab equipment? And I can't find anything I haven't already found before.
okay then.
Like, I
So
mean, I've got a bunch of stuff. I mean, I've got that brain in a jar I showed you earlier, and I've got what I'm assuming are a funky design of Tesla coils. I've got that sterile box with the gloves in it that's full of like plants, and
yeah, we won't describe them.
yeah,
Let everybody
I, I've
find them. Yeah.
I've got sort of a hologram table thing going on, and yeah. So I mean, like I'm running out of stuff to put in here. The lab equipment I found is stuff I've already done, like test tube racks and things.
You've already done all the stuff from the set of the original Frankenstein film, right?
I've not seen it, but I mean, probably.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty standard stuff. You've described most of it. The coils, the Jacob's ladders, the
Now, I didn't actually put in a Jacob's ladder. I put because I have way the hell too many things that are going zap already.
already then.
But, I mean, still. And of course, I had to put in the Wilhelm device. Had to.
Oh my! I'm trying to remember. Wait, I don't remember what the Wilhelm device is.
No,
Um,
no. Wilhelm device. There's no V in there. It's a fucking Wilhelm device. And don't go looking up the name Wilhelm. It's not going to help you because it's named after the Wilhelm scream. You don't know the Wilhelm scream, do you?
I don't, but I will find out. Is a
Okay,
stock
well,
sound
it's
effect that has
a
been used
very
in at least.
well-known. It's a very well and often used sound effect of a guy screaming, and it gets its name because it's apparently Stern, where like a guy shouts, "Hey, Wilhelm!" and Wilhelm gets shot by an arrow and lets out that distinctive scream that's been used in every fucking Star Wars movie. Here, let me. You'll probably recognize it if it will come up.
Yeah.
That's the Wilhelm.
Okay.
Now, because that's in so many movies, I decided that the prop that I built that is also in so many movies would be called the Wilhelm device because it's the Wilhelm scream. But if you pronounce it Wilhelm, you're getting it wrong.
Okay, then.
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay, and it's royalty free and everything. Yay.
But yeah. Let's see, present now, a window, this, go. All right, this is the laboratory, or at least from one direction, this is the laboratory.
Oh, yay.
Although it looks like things aren't glowing as they should. For some reason, like if 3ds Max can get snarky if I'm using like rendering the perspective window rather than the camera window, and it won't put all the glowing stuff in, which I'm finding irritating, but well, there's not much I can do about it except bitch, so I shan't. But there's a lot of stuff in that shot that should be glowing that isn't.
Boy, I tell you, I like the. What is it? A table, I guess, on the where the chair is, and it has the blue springs as table legs, and
because yeah, that's meant to be sort of like a hologram table. Like it will display information mostly in the air, but also on the green bits there.
I mean, the first thing it reminded me of was a pool table, but what can I tell you?
That it reminded you of a pool table right away?
Okay. Boy, I tell you, that's filling in the scene quite slowly there.
Oh, are you looking at my 3ds Max window? You weren't supposed to be. You were supposed to be looking at something else.
Oh, okay.
You were supposed to be looking at my graphics clipboard, not the 3ds Max window.
Oops. Okay. Oops.
Not that it's important. It's not a big deal. But yeah, that's the lab I'm working on.
All right. What's the what's the?
I am proud of the brain though.
Okay, you kind of cut out when you were saying you're proud of when you were proud of the, and then you sort of got fuzzy there.
Oh, the brain in the jar.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, that is Shades of Sci-10 Bergen.
Not the easiest model to build. I have to say, it took me hours to build that thing. So.
Oh wow.
I'm kind of proud of it.
What is that device over on the left that looks like a lathe?
You mean the Wilhelm device?
Is that it? Okay, because you've got the panel with the light dots, and then to the right of it you've got that thing, and that's the Wilhelm device.
Oh, this. Yeah, hold on. Let me, because it's supposed to glow. You see.
Okay, then.
Right now, that device has been in so many things, but nothing more than it's been in Star Trek.
Ah,
Like, seriously. I'm trying to find like a good image of it in Trek, but that's going to be hard. Regardless, though, it's very you'll see it a lot. If you know what to look for, eventually you'll find it. It was in like The Last Starfighter, and it was in whole bunches of stuff. Alien Nation, it was in. It was in V, the original V, back in 1983.
mm.
Uh, it's been on almost every series of Star Trek. I don't know if it was ever on TOS, but man, was it ever on everything else. Yeah,
Okay then.
there's an article here. It says this sci-fi prop sure gets around. So yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
beach. Yeah, 3 days in a row. I mean, there was Sunday, then there was my birthday broadcast, then there's today, and next up is going to be Sunday again. So, all right.
Easy. And then there's let's see, copy image. This is it on Star Trek Enterprise. And then let's see, I'm not really sure because Barclay is in freaking every series there is. So I don't know if that's that I want to say that's DS9 based on the uniform.
Okay.
And then we also have it in TNG, right? So seriously, that thing's in freaking everything, and I knew I had to make a 3D model out of it.
Okay then. Well, at least they got
Yeah.
their money's worth out of the damn thing.
Well, one thing that's kind of sad is that the prop company that made it recently went under. And I don't know if it was like intentional or if they just said, yeah, we're all too old to do this anymore or what. But I tried to contact them to ask if I could buy that thing, and they never got back to me.
No.
But I would have bought the hell out of that thing and kept it in my home forever.
Okay then.
Seriously, I totally would have.
All you need is the space for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and wow, is this ever oblique? But that just put a song back in my head that's been in my head for the last, I don't know how frickin' long.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know, I don't even know if it has like hell, probably the first couple of words in the song are the title. It's inch by inch, row by row.
Oh, yeah, Pete Seeger.
You know, and when you said all it takes, my brain went, all it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, could like it would be so nice if not everything was a song reference.
Oh
You know,
my.
I mean, I can't help it. It's completely automatic. There's nothing I can do about it. But
Some
yeah.
somebody's brain is cluttered.
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. And yet, ask me to remember something important. I mean, besides Star Wars trivia, I mean, uh, like if someone said, "Oh, by the way, what's like." Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know my social security number, but something like that, something you're supposed to have memorized. Gee, I don't know. But if you want to know the name of the character that was like first seen in the cantina scene in Star Wars, I can probably tell you that.
Oh
It's just
my.
like yeah. I have nothing useful in my head. Just pop culture.
Pop goes the culture.
Well, I mean, you've heard the thing about the license plate that might as well be the Wilhelm plate, right?
Yes, indeed.
Well, that's the kind of trivia I have in my head. But goodness knows, if you ask me, like, I don't know, where was I in 2002? in the winter time when you had that job that time. I'd be like, I don't know, was that Toys R Us? No, that was the 90s. Was I doing developer support? No, that was 2 years before that. It's I could not tell you. Um, but again, if you want to know the actors who were in Enemy Mine and who directed it, I can do that.
Well, I mean, I couldn't tell you what I had for lunch 3 weeks ago, so
Yes,
maybe
but
we're
that's not as consequential as, say, your social security number.
okay.
Hell, I could not remember my address from when I was last in Seattle for a very long time, and I had to look it up and memorize it again because for some reason I needed to know it. But I couldn't tell you for ages because I just forgot.
Oh, you
But
didn't.
again, if you want me to tell you, like, the very first movie Ethan Hawke was ever in, I can do that.
So you did not paint your door red so you could find your way home?
Well, given that it was an apartment building and the doors were glass, no.
Okay. And that's a legend. I don't know how true it was that when he lived in Princeton, Einstein painted his door red so he knew which house was his. Um,
Hmm.
but maybe legend, may not be. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. I just God, I do not want to go out and get a fucking burger. I shouldn't go out and get a fucking burger, but I'm hungry and I want one because somebody was cooking something meaty outside and it smelled so good.
I don't know.
Ugh, swallowed some hair.
Oh, not good.
Anyway.
Not good.
Hmm. Columbia, I don't know what you want. Stop meowing. Merciful Zeus.
Well, I don't know who would make a fucking burger and what are the ingredients.
Well, I know what the ingredients are in hair pie.
Okay then.
Well, but I guess, hey, I know what's in a fish taco. And there was once when I ate squirrel, but still. Oh, and beaver.
Hmm.
You're not buying any of this, are you?
Not for 50 cents.
Hmm? Well, I'd buy that for $1, which is a movie reference you don't get.
Okay, you're
You've
correct.
never seen RoboCop. I guarantee you've never seen RoboCop.
Actually, I have.
Have you?
There
This
is,
shocks
yeah.
the Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you remember there was that one TV show that looked like it was like Benny Hill or something, and the one guy's catchphrase was, I'd buy that for $1.
I don't know how well I remember it. I know I would have seen it because I've seen the entire film. Um, but it was so long ago. I mean, goddamn, when did RoboCop come out?
Like 87, I want to say.
I thought there was an 8 in there somewhere. Um, I mean, all I could think of was, that poor guy. Um,
Which guy? There's a lot of guys in that movie.
the one that was turned into the robotic cop.
The one who was turned into RoboCop, you mean?
Yes.
Because that was actually his name was RoboCop. Once he became RoboCop, originally it was Murphy. I want to say Peter. No, the actor was Peter. I don't remember. His last name was Murphy. But
Okay
anyway, this is
then.
the dude right here. I'd buy that for $1.
Okay
Yeah.
then.
Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. I should know his first name. All right, RoboCop. And I was right. It's 87. And yes, the actor is Peter Weller. Wow, it just says Murphy. I swear he has a first name. Jeepers.
Yeah, because I'm remembering, and then tell me if I'm full of shit or not. Um,
Alex Murphy. That's it. Anyway, go
okay
on.
then. Yeah, I'm remembering a particular scene where the RoboCop is in an abandoned and decrepit warehouse or something, lady comes with baby food for him because
Mhm.
that's all he can eat.
Yep.
And
His
I,
digestive system is very rudimentary. Hell, it pretty much only has to like feed his face.
yeah, and yeah, that was just
Colonial.
heart wrenching. What can I tell you?
Well, okay, the one thing like they have it in RoboCop and it's in every other movie too, but have you ever noticed like people are running away from other people shooting at them? And for some reason there's like puffs of dirt or concrete or whatever at their feet. And I'm like, where the hell are you people aiming? You're not shooting from above. Why are you aiming at their ankles? What are you
Mm.
hoping to accomplish? Like I realize that, unless there's a wall behind them, you're not going to see bullets stitching anything because they're just going further and further and further. But still, you're shooting at a guy's feet. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's. Unless they just want to, disable him so they can torture him later. Who knows?
Well, it's usually just to show that, yes, this person's almost getting hit. Pretty much. I
Mm.
mean, it's creative license, obviously, but it's always kind of bothered me a little.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Oh, there's a movie I haven't watched in ages and need to watch again. Repo Man.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, for me, it's been a very long time since I've seen that film.
I remember it. It falls into the category of what I like to call warehouse sci-fi. I mean, you mentioned before how RoboCop ends up in an abandoned warehouse. Well, it seemed
Mm-hmm.
like warehouses were ubiquitous through the 80s, right? In like low budget 80s sci-fi. And even if there isn't a warehouse in Repo Man, it fits the vibe of a warehouse sci-fi. Like I'd probably put The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension in there. I might be willing to put They Live in there. Let's see what else goes in that category. I mean, well, hell, okay, The Stuff and Chud definitely, especially Chud. My Science Project is another one.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I haven't seen it. I've heard of it.
Yeah. But strangely enough, a
Okay.
I don't know. I could like I mean because this is my own definition and because it's more of a vibe thing than anything objective, let's say. Uh like I'm not sure anyone else will agree with the category or even necessarily what I'd put in it. But it's definitely I mean I guess we're in I'll know it when I see it territory, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
My.
Got curious what the guy who directed Repo Man also directed, and apparently in 2009 there was a movie called Repo Chick.
Yeah, I saw that one. I looked up Repo Man as well.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that one. I may have to track it down. And I'm curious now about Bill the Galactic Hero. This sounds interesting. Bill is a pizza delivery driver who is drugged and shanghaied into the space troopers. Bill initially works as a fuse tender, but when his ship is struck by enemy fire, he finds himself the only remaining soldier capable of firing back. I am very curious. If this is anywhere streaming, I'm so watching the shit out of it.
Okay then.
And that would be a no for Amazon Prime Video. Let's see. Bill the Galactic Hero. That would be a big honkin' no for Hulu. Come on, Netflix. Netflix must have Kill the Galactic Hero. Wow, that didn't even come up as anything. Like usually if you type in a title into Netflix and they don't have it, they'll at least suggest something. But this didn't even come up as a suggestion.
Oops.
Like, there's nothing here. Let me just type in Bill and see what happens. Bill, no. The, no. Type in a G. A, no, and nothing. Oh, well, I may have to put it on my Amazon wish list then.
Okay, then. Hans has an interesting question. He asks,
Mhm.
what would be the next thing? Repo Kids? Repo Grandma?
Repo aliens.
Okay.
Well, I mean, hell, given
Given that the car
um,
got up and flew away, yeah.
yeah. I don't want to search IMDb, damn it.
So
There.
that's where Elon Musk got the idea then, huh?
Wait a minute. Okay, it's not even coming up on Amazon as anything other than a book.
Hmm.
But apparently it was a book. Wait a minute. Okay, so apparently it started out as a novel series by Harry Harrison, and I know that name from somewhere. But I definitely don't see Bill the Galactic Hero as a movie. Let's see. If I type that in and then go shopping, those are books. I'm looking for the movie. Maybe I should just watch the frickin' movie. Oh, wait a minute. Apparently, there was a Kickstarter to get this movie going. And someone is selling the DVD that they got as a result of the Kickstarter. For $60. I'm not that interested.
Oh my.
Download it illegally.
What I saw over here, I see Build the Galactic Hero on Vimeo. I wonder if one could grab it with one of those downloading programs. It runs an hour and a half.
Well, on IMDb, it has a score of 5.5 out of 10, so it might stink.
Okay.
Well, who knows? I mean, I'm looking for new books to read because I've been rereading the same stuff over and over. Maybe I'll just buy the book. Oh, hey, there's a trailer for it on YouTube, and wow, does
Yeah.
it look low budget. Columbia, it is not time for food yet. 15 minutes, chill, baby.
Yes, it is. It is time for all the food, all of it.
I mean, I love you, kitten, and all, but I may have to murder you. She gives me this really indifferent head turn away. But, oh, hey, there's something here. It says, watch Bill the Galactic Hero for free on Starburst Magazine. See, it says here, we loved Alex Cox's ultra-low-budget sci-fi movie, Bill the Galactic Hero, and now you can see it for free. Says here they, oh, well, okay, they released it on the internet in 800 by 450. So not exactly high res. Says it was made by students of the film studies and theater and dance departments of the University of Colorado. Of Colorado, that's not a comma. Boulder is a perfect antidote for those sick of overblown and costly science. Oh, no, that is a comma. Colorado. Oh. Oh, man, that is one tangled sentence. Anyway, packs more traditional sci-fi commentary and fun than some Hollywood blockbusters we can mention, and you can see it here. Okay. Tell me I can download it. Oh. Well, apparently I can't see it here. Apparently I just get sent to their site without actually showing me the movie. Well, there's a search function. I'll find it. Grind, grind, grind. Ah. Okay. Okay, so apparently they're just full of shit because the thing that said on the Starburst site, the thing that said you can watch it here, took me right the hell back to the page that said I could watch it here. This stinks. Oh well. Oh well. Whatevs.
But of course,
I'll find a way if I desperately need to see it, I'll find a way. But in the meantime, maybe I'll put the book on my Kindle somehow. I don't know. We'll see. I saw an article recently that said, like during the pandemic, it makes sense if you go back and like rewatch and reread old favorites rather than finding something new, because it really does feel like wrapping yourself up in a security blanket. It's comforting and comfortable, and it's a sense of stability
oh,
in an otherwise uncertain world. So it makes sense why I've watched the entirety of How I Met Your Mother and The Big Bang Theory about 4 times in this year alone.
okay
But I
then.
still feel the need for something new.
So maybe I will watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Why not?
I
Although,
had,
to be perfectly honest, I after multiple viewings, I find Life of Brian is better.
I hadn't got that one. I'll have to do that. I'll have to buy that
What
one.
What are you saying? You've never seen
Oh,
Life of Brian?
I've seen it. I don't own a copy of it.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Yes. No, I saw it years ago, but oh, it's hilarious. Absolutely.
There is this absolutely amazing interview that took place after the movie came out, where John Cleese and Michael Palin are
Uh
on a
huh.
talk show.
Uh huh.
Ah, you know the
I
one.
know the
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
so awesome to watch that whole
Uh,
interview.
an Anglican cardinal, and who was the other?
I don't know, it's just like some pundit or something. I don't think he was like really anybody except a commentator. I'd have to watch it again, but
Yeah, I
like at
mean,
the writer.
neither of those guys got it. They were thinking it's just this silly little film. It's not worth anything, you know.
Mhm. But like I actually there's something that I'd more or less forgotten about that I started rewatching after like multiple decades, as in not since high school have I watched The Young Riders. Like I'm not into westerns, and the only reason I ever watched it in the first place was because the girl I was crushing on loved it.
Okay.
Um, but it's on is it Amazon? Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime Video. And I watched it, and I've just had it on while I've been doing the animation stuff. And I mean, it's not bad as westerns go, and there's no like actual country music in it, which helps. Uh yeah. But the weird thing is I'm looking on Amazon, and it seems like they have season 1 streaming and season 3 streaming. But season 2, not so much.
Huh. That is the poo poo.
Well, what it is weird.
Hmm.
Like, I could understand if they didn't have the last season. It'd be annoying, but I could understand. I could almost understand if the first season was missing. But the middle season? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, here's me. Did not mean to do that, really. I didn't. Oh my. That's what I gotta do. I gotta pull Red Dwarf back out.
Why? Where'd you stick it?
Oh, it's on a drive somewhere. I forget which drive it's on, but it is on a drive.
Did you miss the joke or just not care for it?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time. Playing as if I missed it. Yeah, did I stick it somewhere? No, it's there somewhere.
Columbia. You will wait. In fact, I'm going to pretend you don't exist.
Oh, for the love of Saint Look, I mean, 9 minutes and 10 seconds. Come on, Columbia, you can hang on.
And the funny thing is that Xander is not bitching at all.
Oh my.
To go like actually spoon out the food, he will lose his shit. He always does. Like Columbia will wait by where her bowl goes. Xander, on the other hand, puts his forepaws up on the counter, like against the counter, and just sort of meows at me constantly, looking up at me like somehow he's gonna make me go faster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, the little one uh, will seek me out, uh, walk around the legs, in between the legs, all that other stuff, and eventually get around to leading me to the bowl. And then she'll stand at the bowl and look at me, and oh, okay, okay, you want some food? Okay, we can handle that. Yeah.
But I mean, does she do it at all hours?
No, just when the level gets to a certain point. It's
Mm.
not when the bowl is completely empty, but basically what's remaining in it are just crunched up bits.
I'm beginning to suspect that you and I feed our cats quite differently.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
No,
Because,
yeah, Sylvia is free fed.
yeah.
The bowl is there. She gets hungry. She walks over. She eats, and then she leaves. Yeah.
Well, these two, they get a quarter can of wet food in the morning and a quarter can at night. And usually at night, I will give them each two handfuls of kibble.
Ah.
Sonny,
Okay.
someone a while back, I love the video game Portal. And as such, I have a whole bunch of different versions of the companion cube from that game. I think the companion cube's awesome. Now, one of the things someone sent me from my Amazon wish list that was not on my wish list, like they sent it to me from Amazon and probably something else that was on my wish list, was a companion cube cookie jar. Now, I don't usually have cookies in the house. I didn't know what to put in there. They would have gotten stale before I ate them all. They would have gotten moldy before I ate them all.
It sounds like
But I
me and
finally found
beer.
but I finally found a use for that cookie jar, and that was a kibble holder.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I have to use a 5 gallon bucket from Lowe's. Because a certain person in the side chat over there took me to Lowe's when he was here, and I got a bag of. Did you get me the bag of cat food, purple,
Wasn't
or did I pick it up and pay for it? I really don't remember, but that was the yeah, like the 50 pound bag of items. Well, not quite 50 pounds, but yeah,
it?
5 gallons of this stuff. And the amazing thing about it is I was feeding her the budget brand stuff earlier, and she was going through it like crazy, but she eats less of the IAMs than she does of the brand X, and it actually works out to be more cost efficient that way. And she's not crapping up a storm anymore. Without where she used to eat a whole shitload and then she'd shit the load. Um, and I hear,
Sounds like she wasn't getting enough of what she needed, and that's why she was eating so much.
yeah, it does. Yeah, the food must not have been all that nutritious, and anymore it's she'll walk over to the bowl, she'll take a few bites, literally just 5 or 6 bites, and then she'll have some water, and that's it. Yeah, you also use less cat litter that way.
You know, Sander has gotten into this horrible habit of not burying his poo.
Oh
Like
my.
he'll drop a deuce and just leave it sitting there on top of the kitty litter. And I'm like, really, dude, you're stinking up the whole place.
Oh Lord. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's known for that. Not constantly, but she'll do it occasionally. And I'm sitting over here working or broadcasting, and holy shit, literally. Uh,
Mm, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Nope, I've still got about 4 minutes before I have to go feed these little monsters. And when I do, I'm gonna go because I'm also hungry my own darn self.
oh, okay,
So,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that'll be nice. Yeah, and yeah, as I say, you've been working like crazy these last 3 days on this channel, and I don't want to overwork you.
Hmm.
Um,
Although, I mean, and like, I don't actually look at the screen most of the time because I'm trying to build that lab. I'm trying to do 3D animation stuff while we chat. So, I have been getting work done. I have been getting things done while we chat. And ever
that's
since I
always
got
good.
handheld game system, the Nintendo Switch, I've been like rewarding myself with an hour or two of gameplay after like passing a milestone on the animation. You
Okay,
know,
then. I know
yeah.
someday, I suppose I will buy a dedicated game machine. Um, but I've got a few things to take care of before I do something like that. Um,
Well, I
but
have to say, like, I'm enjoying the Switch. There's like one or two things that have been kind of fucking me up with it, namely that select and cancel are reversed from what I'm used to on my PC, and that has fucked me up a lot. Where I'm like, oh
oof.
yes, choose that. What? No, I said choose it. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but other than that, it's a great little system.
Yeah. There was a thing I used to go to years ago. They had a Wii game system, and I
Mm.
used to play some of that stuff, and it was kind of fun. And a nice bowling game, and I forget what the others were, but that started me thinking that, gee, would I like one of those? I mean, that was, oh my word, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. So I still haven't done anything about it, but yeah, someday.
Uh, not the biggest fan of the Wii. I mean, okay, as much as I just sang the praises of the Switch, Nintendo has always been the little kidsy version of video gaming. Like you'd go to Sega or PlayStation to get the more serious stuff,
Mm-hmm.
where like Nintendo felt more like the Disney-fied version of playing video games, the
Okay.
cutesy version, the puffy version, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it
You
does
know,
actually.
yeah, and so like it's kind of like, at least when I was a kid, the major TV networks all seemed to have a vibe to them. Where it was like ABC was where you would go for the really family friendly stuff.
Yes,
And
yes.
NBC was where you would go for the serious stuff. And what was it? CBS was where you would go for the old people stuff.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You've got it. You got it
And
down. Yeah.
so video game systems are awfully similar in terms of their target audiences.
I guess that's one of the reasons I came to like CBS News, with Walter Cronkite. I mean, CBS was always on. As you say, it was the old people stuff. Um,
Hmm.
Bob
Well, I was
Condet.
thinking more like Matlock rather than the news, but okay.
Bob Condetko would have Marlon Perkins. They'd always watch that. That was on CBS. Um, a couple of the other programs were always there. And then you'd always see the CBS Evening News. And okay, so that's just, went from there.
Well, but I mean, like, one of the only programs I can think of from CBS that didn't really scream old people, honestly, was Star Trek. But everything else, like Matlock and Newhart and all that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really do have to go. It's 6, and I have cats to feed.
Okay, hun.
They've been bitching at me for the better part of an hour, so I will see you later.
Well, take care, hon, and thanks for the hours and all that other good stuff. And gonna let you have a vacation now.
All right, later.
Yay! Oh my word! And there we are with that. Let me go to camera 2. Look at that! Yay! Here I am in all my glory. No need to stand, just throw money. And yeah, I saw your little thing over there, Purple. Most grocery store brands you will see cellulose in the ingredients list. They're literally use sawdust as a filler. I had not realized that, and yeah, this one was getting a grocery store brand. It was called Boots and Barkley, and it's got to be it's got to be that she was getting sawdust for dinner, and I feel kind of bad that way. But well, amiga, yeah, try some meds. Another attempt at sleeping. I want to thank you for the birthday, Quatloos. Yeah, I don't know about you, but what can I say? We'll see what goes with that, and I'm very likely going to wind down here, and actually maybe even put some water into the tank. The aquarium is not yet fully full, so I can just slowly throw some water in there. The thing I noticed with this, and I'm going to have to do something with it, figure out how I can take care of it. The adhesive on the little handle for opening the cover is letting loose from time to time, and that's not exactly my idea of a good time. Because otherwise, I have to get in there with a screwdriver to open up the darn thing, and it's not a good thing. But I'll have to figure that out and work that out. There's got to be something that'll stick the little handle into glass with some degree of reliability. Oh my. And eventually, maybe not in September, maybe in August, maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll start with some livestock. So the tank will be a little more interesting, and then we can see how the little one reacts. Quatloos for cake, yes, dear. Oh my. As I say, well, what I'm gonna do, I think when this show is over, I'm going to slice up some of the strawberries and let them sit with sugar and a bit of water, and then maybe after a half hour or so, start to build a strawberry shortcake. Well, actually, it's not an official strawberry shortcake because I have pound cake rather than shortcake. Yes, there is a difference. But I hadn't had one of those in a long time, and I thought I might like to have one. It was a restaurant that the Slimy Bastards used to go to after church on Sunday mornings. Um, they had T-bone steaks for absolute cheap. I mean, this was in the 70s, true, but still, even for the 70s, the T-bones were absolutely cheap and everything. You could get a great T-bone for a couple of bucks. And the other thing they had were the strawberry shortcakes, where you had a cereal bowl, basically, um, and you'd have the shell in there, the pound cake shell, vanilla ice cream, then the strawberries, then the whipped cream. Damn thing ended up about, let's see now, so high. Yeah, I have to make sure that my both of my hands are visible if I'm going to do this. It was close to a foot high, and yeah, you'd take a while to eat one of those damn things. But yeah, I miss those because it's been a long time since I've had one of those guys. Um, been a long time since I've done a lot of stuff. You know, like as I say, you know, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Yeah, especially this year with everything all. Yay! It's a good thing, Purple, that you managed to get a good bit done. I like that. Oh my, but yeah, it's all sorts of fun, and I've I've got to get around to getting some stuff. Excuse me, getting some stuff done because I'm still cleaning this place. Um, Started rearranging things and straightening up one corner, and when you straighten up one corner, the rest of the place gets totally screwed up. So then you straighten that up, and the original corner gets screwed up again. It's never done, but we'll take care of that. And it's just been one of those years. It's been a crazy, crazy year. I actually did get a refund on the baseball tickets that I could not use. So that was nice. That was. This was almost $80 for the 3 tickets, and nice to get that back because like I said, I just couldn't use it. What are you doing over there? The baseball TV. Well, that's another thing. I got a partial refund on that, but they still kept about $40, $50. There's really nothing to watch, and I'm not so happy about baseball with no fans in the stadium or anything like that. So what can I tell you? So it's going to be a while, I think, before I do anything more with that. I don't know when any of this cerveza virus is going to be over or anything like that. When we're going to be able to, I can't say get back to normal, but do some of the things we used to could do and cannot do now. Maybe I'd do something about baseball then, but for now, no. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. That's interesting. Why is my tummy rumbling? Did I eat anything today? I forget. I wish I could do that more often. I wish I could forget to eat. That might help me get where I'm trying to go. I mean, I'm so close to 200 right now, but I'm just not getting there. We'll see what happens. By the time it's all over, at least another 20, possibly 40. But I remember when I weighed 160 and felt really, 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 really good. Yeah, unfortunately, that was about 40 years ago, and I may not feel the same way now. So we'll see what happens and take it from there. But yeah, I think I'm going to do some foods and check on the little one's food. And oh man, look at that! It's 2100 hours. It's 9 p.m. and it's dark already. I don't know. It's. I want to cry because it's getting dark earlier and earlier. Not fun. Not fun at all. Zero, zilch, nada. But I want to thank everybody who's here. I want to thank everybody who's not here. And those of you who are not here, I hope you come by and rewatch this in its syndication. I love doing this. I do. I love doing this stuff for you guys. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it. And you make me love it. You make me love you. That's always a good thing. So the more you keep loving it, the more I'll keep doing it. And all kinds of good stuff like that. There you go. Well, the first day anyway, right? Oh my. But okay. And thanks, Lone Wanderer. I don't know why, but I'm happy you do. Thanks a million. I mean, I don't know why you love this old broad, but getting older by the day, getting older by the year. Never thought I'd make it here, but here I am. You know, what can I tell you? Never did take that good care of myself when I was younger, and oh well. But what I will say is thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.